Now, driving at high speeds and changing lanes can be an intimidating prospect, especially if you haven't been on the motorway before.
New figures suggest it's not just those who've recently passed their test who dread them. As many as 13,000 drivers a day actively change their route to avoid motorways.
Yes, we've been out with one young driver as she takes to the plunge for the very first time.
My name's Rebecca Holland. I'm 18 years old and I've been driving since the 22nd of September this year.
Hopefully you're all ready for today.
Bit nervous. I've never been on a motorway before unless I've been passenger, and it's being in control of this car at such high speeds is so terrifying. It's a really terrifying thought. You've got to get up to that speed and match it with the people, but you've only got such a short space, and then you're like looking and you're looking behind you and to the side, and it's like, I really need to get onto this motorway.
Okay, stay calm, but pick that speed up. Because look, can you see them there coming up quite fast there? Have that little check beside you, just in case. That's it, well done. Okay, how did that feel?
Actually a lot more comfortable than I thought it would.
At the moment it is illegal to actually drive on the motorway as a learner, so we can't put that within lessons. That's it, just straighten you up there, that's it, now just come over very gently. We'd love to be able to give people that education, because you've got to remember that if people pass their test in the morning, they can get straight on the motorway, never done it before, changing lanes at 70 miles an hour, coming off at 70 miles an hour onto a roundabout. It's scary. Have we got time to overtake? Is he coming up fast?
Yeah, he's coming up too fast now.
So let's just ease off so that we've got that 2-second gap in front.
I've definitely learned that your reaction times need to be like on the ball, because it can't be like, oh, okay, I think I'm going to overtake you, and then you go off and it's like, yeah, okay. It's like, no, you need to, I'm going to overtake you, and do it like that.
That's it, go on then, see if you can do it, well done. That's a lot better, that's a lot more confident.
So motorways are the safest roads, but she was clearly nervous. Others are as well. What can drivers do to boost their confidence on the motorway? Motoring journalist Steve Berry is here with us now. So many figures there. Let's talk about the 13,000 people every day who avoid a motorway.
My mother would drive miles to avoid driving on the motorways. I think because the speeds are so much higher, it frightens people. And when I passed my driving test 30 years ago, the first thing I did was go and drive on the motorway. And I'd already been driving for 5 years, because I come from a farming background. And I'd driven tractors, I'd driven old cars, but I'd never been over 40 miles an hour. So the idea of merging, motorway driving is very different when you think about it, isn't it? The skill set that's required to drive successfully on the motorway, quite different to that on regular urban roads.
Well, given everything you said, it does seem extraordinary that it's not part of the test procedure.
I looked last night. If there is a country that obliges people to drive on the motorway or the autobahn or the highway or whatever they call it, I couldn't find one. And I think it's just due to the practical impossibility of getting a learner driver to a motorway or a road that's considered to be a motorway. If you're in the West Country, Mid Wales, the Scottish Highlands, how on earth would that work?
Logistics of whether it's near where you live.
Absolutely.
That seems like an extraordinary sort of geographical thing over safety, because surely safety is the only thing that matters when it comes to roads.
Well, yes and no, but there's the safety aspect in getting an unqualified driver to a motorway. What if they had to drive 50 or 60 miles on roads that they've never been on before? You know, there's a safety implication to that as well, I think.
What are your top tips for people who are nervous about it then? Because, you know, it's obviously on many occasions going to save them time by going on the motorway, isn't it?
I would say don't be nervous. Bear in mind that statistic that it's the safest road you can drive on. And I think in that report, it was said that your reaction times have to be faster. They don't. You've got more time. You've got more time as long as you're aware of what's going on around you. It's all about tailoring your speed and your actions if you want to change lanes or you want to brake or you want to accelerate in advance. And they are the safest roads you can drive on. People should remember that.
It's a curious situation in a way, because what appears to be the case is quite a lot of people are deliberately staying off them. Possibly that's leading to them being more safe. Maybe it's sort of they're removing themselves from what they perceive to be a dangerous situation, which makes the road safer in a funny kind of way.
It is all about perception, isn't it? I mean, if you ask people what are the safest roads, I would imagine that some would say, oh, a nice, lovely, leafy country lane. You know, what could possibly go wrong? Well, all kinds of things. They are the riskiest roads to drive on. So it's all about perception. They are the safest roads.
And just very briefly, do you think people should have lessons then before, if they're worried, maybe before they go on the motorway with an instructor or something like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The first time you go, don't do what I did and drive straight to the nearest motorway, the M66, immediately after you've passed your test and then try and merge at 35 miles an hour. Go with your instructor.
Did it go okay? Did it go okay? Yes, you did. Steve Berry, thank you very much.